You should have a basic understanding of personal finances. But if you are not studying it every day, you're not obsessed with it, just hire an advisor, hire a financial advisor. Hola mi gente, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna jump right into this video because I've been really excited to get this done. I've taken like 3 or 4 edits because of camera problems, camera issues, microphone issues, so I'm really excited to get this video actually completed. So let's jump right into it. This is my standing desk, by the way. It's a pretty sweet desk and I love the way that it moves up and down. This is down, up, you can sit down, you can stand up. I'm actually standing up right now, as you can see. So anyways, let's get into it. So 10 things that you can ask a financial advisor. The first thing that I have down is ask them if they are a fiduciary. That is one good thing, just kind of like a good thing to start off, because if you don't know what a fiduciary is basically defined by the legal and ethical requirement to put your best interest, to put their client's best interest first. So that means they basically have a legal obligation to put your best interest first. So you know that if for whatever reason you find out that they're doing something that's not in your best interest, you can take them to court. They're legally bound to helping you and doing what's in your best interest with your money, because it's your money, it's your personal finances. So that's a really important thing to find out. And you can check on brokercheck.com. You can look up how to figure out, Google how to figure out if someone is a fiduciary, if they have that legal requirement, because some advisors aren't, and that's just a good thing to know. The second thing that you can ask them is, how often will we meet to review my portfolio and its performance? That's an important one because a lot of people think that they might need to meet their advisor 1, 2, 3, 4 times a week, a month, or something like that. So working that out with your advisor before even hiring them as your advisor is a really important thing to do. Typically they'll do a bi-monthly meeting where you can meet with them like every 6 months or something to kind of go over your portfolio's performance and how it's done, how it's doing. You know, it helps you guys explain the frequency that you would like to communicate with your advisor before agreeing, before the mutual agreement of being able to work together. So that's an important one I would think is good to ask your advisor. The third thing that you could ask your advisor is, why are you a financial advisor? This gives you clarity and it gives you insight on their why, on what motivates them, what gets them out of bed every day, what makes them wake up to get ready to go to the office, to make these calls, to meet with these clients, to study the market and do all that for you. You know, like hiring an advisor is basically like hiring someone to work on the maintenance of your car, or hiring or going to see the doctor. This is someone who's obsessed with it, who nerds out over the idea of studying the market and finding the growth of the best things that you can do with your money. So it's not just someone, it's not like you can learn a little bit on your own, you can do your own research, and that's good. You should have a basic understanding of personal finances. But if you are not studying it every day, you're not obsessed with it, just hire an advisor, hire a financial advisor, interview different advisors, figure out who you fit the best with, like get the vibe, see what works best for you, and ask them, why are you an advisor? Get their story, create that like connection, because this is someone who's going to take care of you, and hopefully for a very, very long time. So that's a good question to ask. The fourth thing that I have down here to ask an advisor is to ask them, how are you compensated? Figuring out how they're compensated helps you understand like their recommendations. If they're recommending insurance products to you, if they're recommending you open up an IRA, if they're recommending you put this much money towards your Roth IRA or this much money towards a brokerage account, or whatever the issue, like whatever the thing that your goal is, it helps you understand why they're making those recommendations, because they could be making a commission from it. They could be making a percentage of it. So asking them and breaking that down, how the fees are laid out, how they get compensated, Typically, if they're managing your assets, which are things like if they're managing like your IRA account, which stands for individual retirement account, if you're moving over an old 401k, which would be called into a rollover, and you're moving that to another account, they might charge a percentage of those assets, quote unquote, like the monies, basically. So that's also, you might see it, it's called AUM, or just assets under management, and they might charge a percentage, like 0.7% or 1%. So there's different ways that they can charge. They can do a sales charge. Just kind of something to ask them so you can know like what your all-in cost is, because maybe they charge a flat fee. They could charge just a flat fee of, like $1,000 or $3,000 a year if they're not charging that percentage. So they could charge a percentage, they could charge a flat fee, or they could get a commission from recommending like insurance products like long-term care, term insurance, whole life insurance. There's a bunch of different products that it could be. The fifth thing that I have here is, how do I set up an appointment? Talking to them about how to set up an appointment is important, because you don't want to be texting them. There could be issues with the SEC, which an advisor and a person is probably not supposed to be texting. Or they could recommend that you call their office. You call their office, you talk to one of the whether they have a secretary or they have a Calendly that you can go online to their website or their Facebook page, whatever they have. You can go there and you can basically figure out like when the best time is that you can meet with your advisor. Don't feel some type of way about it because they're busy. They're meeting with people every day. So you know what I mean? They're meeting with people every day. It might be a day or two or something like that you can, or the following week, depending on when it is, that they'll be able to have some time to meet with you for 30 minutes, 30, 45, an hour, 2 hours, like depending how long it is and what you need to talk about. The sixth thing that I have written down is, when should I contact you? This is really important, guys. Figuring out when to contact your advisor is crucial, because a lot of times people don't have any idea like when to contact. Whatever, like it's not a big deal. They'll call them about things that aren't a big deal. But the things that are a big deal are like personal or life changes, like you just got married, change in employment, birth or death in the family happens, and you come across an inheritance and you need to know what to do with all of this money. Things like financial changes, like I mentioned, like an inheritance or a significant debt of a significant portion of debt is paid off and you have all this extra money now. That'd be a good time to call your advisor and figure out where to allocate that money. Whether you're buying or selling a primary residence, so if you're selling your house or you're buying a new house, that would be an important time to talk to an advisor. Big purchases, things like that. If it's things like, should I go out to eat next week? Should I use this money should I pull money out of my account to go and buy something for a few $100? Like, it's probably not that big of a deal, and you can kind of do that research on your own and be an adult about it. I don't know. And things like estate planning issues. That's how, a lot of times you might have an advisor that will recommend things such as like long-term care, asset transfers, generating a 529 plan, which is just basically like a college savings plan for your kids, or if you want to do more like charitable giving, things like that. Those are like big costs, big long-term costs that would be ideal to talk to your advisor about. The seventh thing that I have written down is, who is your custodian? And we get that question a lot. Not the point exactly of like, who is your custodian, but they ask us the actual name of our custodian, and because the paperwork that we have will have like their logo on it, and they get it and they're like, who is this? I don't know who this is, because this isn't the company, this isn't the firm, the name of the firm, and then we have to explain it. So just getting that initial, like in your initial meeting, getting that answered in the first meeting that you have with the advisor is gonna be a good idea. So you're not freaked out and you don't think like I'm being scammed or I'm being punked or tricked or something, like why don't I know about this? Just ask them like, who is your custodian? Who do you work with? What kind of like companies do you work with? What other companies do you partner with? Because they might have multiple custodians that they work with, and they might have one broker, like a broker dealer, that they get their paperwork from and that they manage your assets through that holds all of your money over here. But this is the name of the firm, and then they have their broker dealer where all of your assets are held. So asking them like who it is, who you work with, that'll save you some confusion. The 8th thing that I have here, and we're almost done, are what services do you provide? Asking them like what services they provide. They might have like investment products, and they might have insurance products that they could recommend. They might have tax like personnel that they would recommend, accountants, lawyers, things like that. They might have all of that in one office, or they might have like strategic alliances. That is how we have it on our website, that of people that they would recommend, because that's kind of their network. The 9th thing that I have here is, am I getting the most out of my Social Security? Asking them if you're getting the most out of your Social Security is a good idea, because a lot of people don't think about that. That's a form of income that you have coming to you one day and down the road. So you can actually figure out how much you'll be getting on Social Security. So a good fiduciary will take the time to look that up with you, because that's a form of income that you'll be receiving one day, and you want to know how to add that into your future, how to plan for that. It might be very low, it might not be that much, and you might already be thinking, oh, I'll just live off Social Security after I retire. But what if it's not that much money? You have to plan for that. So if you plan for that, you'll be in a better position. And the last thing that I have here, and this could be something you ask them, it could be something you don't ask them, you just feel it, get the vibe, and see how close you feel, like what the personal connection is with your advisor, is ask them why their last couple clients might have left. Ask them like why it is that some people didn't want to work with you or left your company, and just look for an honest answer. Look for something that like gives you a good vibe with them, and that they're being honest. And it's kind of a sensitive subject, but it's kind of like one that you are curious about, like, because if they say, oh no, we never lose anybody, they're probably lying. They lose people now and then for different reasons. Everyone has different requests, and some people want to talk to their advisor every week, and they want to do this, and they can't make the time because they're still trying to grow their own business and still trying to do their own thing. So that's why you need to create that in the beginning. Figure all that out in the beginning, and asking them why the last couple clients might have left is to put you in a position to understand them better. All advisors lose clients. Don't be shocked about it. Don't be freaked out about it. It's not a red flag, but if they tell you that, then they're being honest. And if they give you like a good reason and kind of just explain how you guys can avoid that, then that's even better. So those are the 10 things that I would recommend that you could talk to an advisor about. If you like those things, hit the like button. It helps my YouTube channel. I guess that's the word on the street. Helps the YouTube channel, helps them in the algorithm. Subscribe to my channel if you like the content that I'm posting. And I'm kind of trying to make this video just quick because I've had so many issues, and I'm glad that I've made it this far through. So if you liked it, thank you, and I appreciate you for sticking around, and I will come back with some more questions. If you have any questions that you want me to ask my boss or figure out for you here at the firm that I work at, I'd be happy to. That's what I do on a daily basis anyways. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.